you guys, good to see you as always here on the channel. Man, we done let it get a little bit warm outside today. My plan was to come out this morning and plant up this GreenStalk planter. I brought home some veggies, some fall veggies to plant in it yesterday from the nursery. But then I kind of got sidetracked this morning. Jackson still got all his buddies over, so I had to cook them a dozen eggs. Then I had to sit out here and eat some grapes on my front steps this morning and just enjoy the view. So I got a little bit sidetracked, and now it's about, well, it's 1 p.m., the hottest part of the day. But that's all right, we're still gonna plant it up anyway. Here's what I brought back yesterday, and thank goodness it didn't get beat up by the rain this morning. We had one hell of a storm roll in. It woke me up about 6 a.m. and it just poured. In fact, let's walk over here and check the rain gauge and see how much we got, because it came down. Let's see here. Yep, that's what I figured. So we got about 1.25 inches of rainfall this morning. The grass certainly loved it, and all the plants. Let me walk y'all up here real quick. If y'all watched the video we put out here very recently, we got all of our beds done. We got our grass cut yesterday. Man, it just looks so much better. But I can't get sidetracked looking at the yard. I do gotta go do one thing though. Let's go feed the birds, and then let's come back. Let's go get us a hat too. And man, my feet are burning on this deck. Let's get us a hat, put some sunblock on, and come back out here and get this GreenStalk planted up. And let's give the birds some grapes too, because these are some that we picked up at Jeter Mountain not too long ago. They need to get eaten, and I'm about graped out. It's been a few minutes since I came into the greenhouse because I had a pretty big scare. Cisco, this military macaw, when I came in, she was down on the floor. So her owner told me that she had a broke leg a few years back, and she's just getting old, and I think she must have hurt her leg a little bit worse. So I kind of freaked out because I'm boarding this bird for my friend while she goes on vacation, and it's always scary, you know, when you've got somebody else's animal and something happens to them. But I had to put her in a towel, got her back up on this perch, and she's been eating and drinking, and I'm not going to stay in here and film too long just because I don't want to stress her out anymore. But thank goodness she did, you know, start eating some pistachios. That's her favorite, and started eating some grapes because I think she's dehydrated. You know, she could have been down there all night long for all I know. But the owner is on the way right now and is going to take her to the vet. I hate that she has to deal with that right, you know, coming off of vacation. But, you know, you always feel responsible even though we didn't do anything. It's just when you got somebody else's animal, it just worries me. Then these two bad birds out here are doing just fine. Millie's eating her grapes. You like those grapes, girl? Those are good, aren't they? Oh, that's very wasteful. Yeah, so anyway, we've got them all fed up. They've got fresh water. This one down here, they kind of try to bathe in it a little bit. And then there are other water dishes in there. And then I come around with some fruit and just stick apples in different places. It just kind of helps them to feel more natural and forage for food. It gives them something to do too. I mean, they've got a humongous cage out here, but nonetheless, it is a cage, it's not the jungle. And so I just like to try to take the best care of them that I can, and you know, give them something to do and play with. Now, one thing we are going to do, let me walk around here real quick. When we have time, when that's going to be, I don't know, but whenever we get to it, we get to it. But I've got all this bamboo that I got out of the landfill and brought it down and stacked in here. And I want to build some cool, you know, I've got the PVC, which works just fine for them, but I want to build some cool bamboo structures in here, like a jungle gym, if you will, just to give them something else to play with. Right, guys? Yes, Kona, I'm not gonna mess with your girlfriend, don't worry. And you're not tricking me with that step up trick. He'll hold his foot out thinking he wants me to allow him on my arm, but then he's gonna take one of my fingers off because he does not like men and hates me. Even though I take care of your bad butt and bring you fruit and vegetables and feed you and water you and build you an aviary, that's how you treat me. That's his girlfriend right there. and you do not get close to her without him getting really, really upset. I get it, bro. You're protective. You're being a good boyfriend. All right, let's get back out there and get that GreenStalk planted. It's been about 30 minutes now since we were out there. But one good thing did happen. The sun kind of went behind some clouds and it's not as hot. We got our hat. We done put our sun bum on. Let's go plant some fall veggies. It is some kind of muggy out here today. After that rain this morning, it's like 100% humidity and looks like there's some storms building. But with that 1.25 inches of rain last night, our soil is really moist. Our plants didn't get killed. And so what we're gonna do, I brought back a big bag of our biotone starter. You know, we use this on anytime we're planting new plants. That gives us our beneficial microbes plus organic fertilizer. And then we're gonna add to the organics a little bit with some worm castings from our friends up at Earth and Organics. These are the guys that made the pot and soil that I used the other day down there in the driveway. So we're gonna do this whole GreenStalk all organic. And I really wanted to do a bunch of lettuce because we eat it a lot on sandwiches, and then we can come out here and pick fresh salads. So I've got some butter crunch and some red lettuce. We've got kale. I've got some collards in here, some broccoli. And so what I think, I've been thinking about this, I say let's plant the taller plants like the broccoli and the collards up top, and then let's do our lettuces down near the bottom. And something else cool happened, you guys. So this is the spinny disc that I wanted to order when I ordered my GreenStalk and the little Vivo Sun, which I don't think we're gonna plant that today. I think I'm gonna do some herbs or maybe some pansies. Anyway, what was I saying? All right, so the little spinny thing, I was telling the guys at Grassroots, it's like, hey, I got this GreenStalk, I really like it. I'd love to see if we can carry them here at the nursery. They said, oh, well, they contacted us not too long ago and even sent us this spinning stand. And I was like, do what? So sure enough, GreenStalk had already approached us about carrying the products, which I'm excited about because I really like this thing and I think they would be beneficial to a lot of our customers who live in apartments and have limited gardening space. But long story short, we got a free spinny base for our GreenStalk, and I had wanted it all the time. The only kicker is now we've got the thing filled up with 200 pounds of soil. So before we do anything, I'm gonna go ahead and start stacking the top on the bottom, and let's restack it. That way we can spin this thing around like a little turntable. And you know what, y'all? I think this is actually gonna work out to our benefit by having to restack the GreenStalk because, you know, after the rain, and we've been watering this thing too, the soil has settled down a little bit. So this will give us the opportunity to add a little of our espoma, land and sea compost. And then we can plant really easily too, and then just simply stack right on up. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and put our water reservoir in. And I think we'll go ahead and put our red leaf lettuce on this bottom tier. Man, they're so wet from all that rain. I like them to be a little drier in the packs because they're so young and delicate. I don't want to rip the roots out. And then I'm just going to come in and plug him right in like so. Then we're going to go ahead and add our espoma, biotone, and some of our worm castings. I'm just going to put about a handful of the biotone and probably about the same amount of the worm castings. And we'll just sprinkle the castings around, mix those two together, get him nice and tucked in. Now we can take our land and sea and we can come around and top dress him with a little bit of this good compost. And now we have got a bunch of different microbes, all beneficial, living in this container with this lettuce and each individual plant. So with the worm castings, our friends up at Earth and Organics, you know, they've got a bouquet, if you will, of microbes, land and sea, the pot and soil. Now all of those are going to work together to help make our plants super healthy. I think on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and add the worm castings and the biotone down into the hole first. That way I can kind of mix it in together, and then we'll set our plant right down in there. And backfill again with the land and sea. And it's easy as that. Now, check this out too. We can just spin it around. How about that? Man, we are highfalutin out here with our spinning GreenStalk. So I'm probably just gonna put you guys on time lapse right now because I just wanna chill out and enjoy planting my plants, and y'all can watch it just go right on up. Man, I tell you what, if for no other reason, just planting, that little spinny stand is money. It made it so much easier. But I left this last hole right here just so I could show you guys exactly what I'm putting in it and how I'm planting. So all we're gonna do is come in here and push the soil back. I like to bring the soil all the way to the lip of the container, and we'll just wiggle, make us a nice big void right there. And then I've been sprinkling in about half a handful of the worm castings and half a handful of the biotone plant starter. And then I just kind of mix that around a little bit with my fingers the best I can, just so that it's not in direct contact with those young roots. We're gonna plant an early cabbage. So I'm just pinching the bottom of the container so that he comes out. Look at those nice, new, healthy roots. Then we're just gonna simply slide him right into the hole. And then if we have enough soil, I'm gonna add a little bit of the land and sea. But if you have enough soil in there, then you just simply pack back around those roots and he's done. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of the land and sea just so he's all the way completely full in his little pocket right here. And this GreenStalk is ready to do some growing, man, and I can spin him around and show you. Starting down here is where we put our red lettuce, and this thing spins really nicely. I was worried about it because this thing, again, is 200 pounds, but they've got a real nice ball bearing system in the turntable. But I did all the way around on the bottom, our red lettuce, and then up on the next level, I added in some of the butter crunch and red lettuce, so we can come down here and pick us a nice salad whenever we want to. Then up here I did some Swiss chard. It doesn't look all that great. It didn't fare well in the storm last night. But we planted it, and then we've got some mustard greens. So I kind of alternated the pockets between the Swiss chard and the mustards. And then up here on the next one, we did broccoli. I'm pretty sure I did broccoli all the way around on this one because we eat a lot of broccoli. And then up on the top, we've got some collards. I'm even gonna try some cabbage. I don't know, that cabbage is gonna be massive, but I figured we would just throw a couple in just to try it and see. I mean, why not? And then we did some kale because I love to walk around the yard and snack on kale as I'm working. And that's pretty much it. Then we got our reservoir back up on top. I'm not gonna water because we had all that rain and the soil is already really, really wet. So we're gonna let it dry out a little bit. Maybe tomorrow, depending if we get any rain this afternoon, we'll go ahead and water it in. But that was a lot of fun, man. I'm really hoping we start carrying these down at the nursery because that was just, I enjoyed the heck out of that just sitting there. But being able to spin that thing and plant it, that's the ticket. So if you can swing it, go ahead and get the turntable for your GreenStalk. It wasn't the easiest transferring the already full tiers over, but it wasn't that bad either. I'm really liking this GreenStalk, man. I'm gonna think I might even go ahead and order a few more, but if we can get them down at the nursery, then we're definitely gonna plant some up. I think they'd be ideal for strawberries. And I've just seen a lot of cool videos of people doing some really neat things with them. But other than that, there's my GreenStalk video, you guys. I appreciate you watching. The more you know, the more you grow. We'll see you on the next video. I hope everyone has a fantastic day.